For the opening shot of this vid, I thought I'd chuck some M12 tools on the bench, and it turns out I got more than I thought I had. And this isn't all of them either. There is some other ones that I haven't reviewed yet that are not in this shot, although I haven't actually reviewed that yet either. Filmed a bunch of stuff, but haven't actually got around to making the video. Anyway, today we are looking at this one in the back here, the M12 FSDR75. It's a Random Orbital Sander, little mini baby one, 75mm, 3" in diameter. Cute little sander. As you can see, it's already well used. When I make tool reviews, sometimes I do the unboxing and go around looking at the features and learning it with you guys, basically, you know, showing you for the first time as I use it. And then other times I use the tool for a month or two and then decide to get around to making the review. And that's what happened with this one. As soon as I got it, I wanted to use it for something, so I used it, tried it out, had a bit of a play, filmed a bunch of different shots, most of which I have lost, unfortunately. I don't know what's happened to them. In my disorganized way, I have misplaced them. But there is one section that I did find, so I'll put that up now. Yesterday the wife came home with a bunch of seedlings that she wants to put in a vegetable garden. Problem is, we don't have a vegetable garden. We haven't got any space for a vegetable garden really. But I'm going to try and use some of this old hardwood I've got laying around. It's mostly Vitex. And just sand it up and see if I can just make a raised garden bed. This is all stuff that's just been kicking around, getting in my way, so it'll be good to finally get rid of it. Because we've got some narrow stuff on the top there, it's only 65mm wide, I figure it's a good time to get the little baby Random Orbital Sander out from Milwaukee and give that a crack. Right, I've bunged it on full whack, number 4. We've got 80 grit on here, let's give her a whirl. Taking that off nice and quick. The shot is not sped up. So that was about 1600 long in real time. This piece of aqua's in a bit of a sorry state, but see how we go. Yeah, that'll come up all right. Okay for the veggie garden. Right, let's now take a look what is in the box. What comes with your tool? So as well as the tool, you also get a dust bag, a pad saver for the 9 mesh discs you get. I think it's 9. I already used a few of them. This polishing pad, this cool little tool holder. Clip that on your belt and then your tool just slots in like that. Pretty nifty. Have it on your hip. Bzz, bzz, bzz. And a universal hose adapter for dust extraction. Speaking of dust extraction, let's go see how that goes. And on the last few M12 reviews I've done, people have said in the comments you should be using a high output 5 Ah battery, so I went and bought one, so let's go see how it goes. Speed 4 back on. Speed 4 dust bag. Speed 4, no vac, no dust bag. Man, it's like snow. Gotta use the vac. Let's see what's hiding under here. Speed 4. Oh, some nice timber under there. As you can see, without the vac, not sucking up that surface dust. Got the bag on at the moment, it's just not quite cutting it. Let's try it on speed 1. I can barely hear it. Sort of moving so slowly that it wants to sort of pull the sander around. A little bit harder to control. Speed 2. Speed 2 gives a bit more control, quite nice for just doing, well, keeping the sound down for one thing. Speed 3. Yeah, speed 3 is quite nice. Back to top speed, speed 4, 10,000 RPM. Good for doing edges. But as with all sanders, use a vac if you can. So when it comes to the sanding discs, mesh discs are the way to go these days. So much better for dust extraction because as you can see through the whole thing, so the dust goes through much better, much easier for getting rid of dust, much better at cutting your surface. They last longer, they're just, yeah, much better than standard old-fashioned sandpaper. But there is a little trick to them. You have to make sure you use one of these pad savers. This being your pad, and you want to save it, chuck that on, sorry about not lining the holes up, bung that on there, okay? So it's just an intermediary pad, and that stops this one from getting stuffed. Because with these mesh discs, because they are, as you saw, see-through, the little hooks on here can come through, and if you're sanding away for too long, you'll wear off your hooks. The next time you go to stick one of these on, just fall off, won't stick. So use one of these instead, and if you stuff that, it's much cheaper to replace than this. Because when you buy the sanding discs, Milwaukee sell these now, they've got a range of them, different grits. They'll usually come with one of these backing pads so that you can chuck it on. After that's stuffed, you just throw that away rather than having to unscrew that and go and try and track one of those down. It's a great size for doing architraves and round doorways, skirtings, that sort of thing, in situ, not having to remove things to sand them down because, yeah, it's a good size. So as you can see, well, maybe you can't see, it's a bit dark here, isn't it? Let's turn on the light. Oh, it's got a big beefy light on the front. So now, this is perfect width for this. It's 3 inches wide, so it's absolutely perfect. And if you can't hold the ball on the front because it's too close, you can hold the handle. You can use it like this. Nice and easy to maneuver. And yeah, you can spin it around any way you want. It's good for getting into tight places. And because it is the same width as this piece of timber, it's going to catch all the dust. Let's turn that light back on. Whereas if this was a 125 or 150 mil orbital sander, sorry Milwaukee, I don't have one of your sanders, but as you can see, this is a 125 mil sander, and half of the pad is sticking off, so the dust all just shoots out here. It does not get collected by the dust system unless basically the whole pad is touching the surface area of what you're sanding. As soon as you come off that, the dust just starts going everywhere with random orbital sanders, so it makes it much easier to keep your client's house. Geez, this one's no good with no light on it, is it? Helps keep your job site and your client's house much, much tidier, and that's always good. You don't have to clean up dust at the end of a job. and you don't have to get your client to remove everything from their house while you're sanding one little thing. So yeah, that size is very nice for small things such as doorways and stuff. And if you wanted to do like kickboards or something underneath cabinets, perfect size for that too. Get underneath things. It's a cool little size. As you can see, it's quite a long tool, but it's very narrow, so it's good to get into tight spaces. Basically, the width of the thing is only the width of your battery, but it is quite long. What about weight? Let's have a look. With the 5 amp hour battery, we're looking at 1.4 kgs, just over 1.4 kgs. In pounds, that'll be just there on the screen. Comfort-wise, the handles, not too bad because the battery's quite a long way back, so you haven't got a huge bulbous grip like you do on some M12 tools. So yeah, quite good. It's got a trigger lock. It's got the battery gauge at the back there, of course, like they all have. We've got a recessed button here, which is perhaps a little bit uncomfortable to push depending on your finger and thumb sizes, but at least you can't knock it. And the light button there on the front. That's about all there is to it feature-wise. My only real complaint is the vibrations that end up going into your hand. My hand ended up tingling pretty quick using this thing. It just starts tingling really fast. And as you get older, those sort of things become more apparent and annoy you more, and you realize you should, you know, look after yourself better and stuff. Wearing these gloves with sort of padded bits on the palm and on the fingertips and shit, that really made quite a difference and helped cut that tingling sensation right down. So that's why you will have seen me wearing the gloves in some of the shots. But it's a good little M12 tool to add to your collection. Speaking of which, I found another couple of M12 tools that I forgot about at the beginning of the video. And if you want to see another M12 tool, such as the M12 brad nailer, that'll be up next week. So make sure you like and subscribe to this video and you won't miss out on that one. Also, I'll stick some links down there to other M12 reviews I've done from some of those tools you saw at the beginning if you're into the Milwaukee M12 gear. Thanks Milwaukee for sending me this tool. They hooked me up with this so that I could try it out. So cheers for that. And I'll catch you all next week for another one. Well, more than another one. Next week might be a bit special. Next week there might be another, maybe 3. So make sure you're locked in and subscribed, and I'll see you then. Cheers guys. Which one's my favorite? Probably